he makes some very strange noises. This one here. Now these two sort of make noises and they go grr, grr, and I thought that that was their song, indicating they were male, but this one on the end, he makes a rather funny, strange babble, which sounds a little bit like, well, the other two don't do it. So I'm wondering if these two are female and that one's male. I don't know if he'll do it again now. He did it right at the very start of this recording. You might have heard a little bit. It was do 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 do, a little bit like that. He's all self-conscious now because he knows I'm watching him. These are society finches. That's often what they're known as. They're Bengalese finches. Now, Bengalese finches are interesting. They do not exist in the wild. They are a man-made created hybrid between two other finches, sort of finch families basically. You think of it a little bit like a eugenics movement in birds. They were created really as a sort of type. They were created, and now they persist, but only in captivity. And the problem, I think, has come with the fact that well, there's no way of telling which one's male and which one's a male and which one's a female, not by their plumage, which is quite annoying if you want to breed them. However, they do apparently breed quite easily, so putting in a nest will soon show if you have a male and a female. Apparently, the old connotations work. The males sing, the females don't. But I thought that what those two are doing up there, I thought that constituted a song. Until I heard this little one down here, which looks like he's pied. Poor little thing. He was making some really strange noises, which he's not doing now. But I wonder if these two are female and that one's male. I have to say, that's my assessment at the moment. I'm going to leave them for a bit, see what I think of them. Maybe, hopefully find out what gender they are by sort of observing them and then name them. If not, eventually I think I shall just have to name them and then put in the nest and see what happens. Failing that, of course, believe it or not, society finches and zebra finches can be put in the same cage, and they will mate if they are forced into a single-sexed environment of their own species. They will mate. So if, for example, say all of these were females, and I put them in with my two male zebras, there would be an impulse to mate, and they would have to mate with each other because there's none of their own species there. So there is a possibility that I can sort of get crossbreeds, and that's really, I think, why society finches have persisted because basically, and they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. They really do, because you can their whole being is that they have mated with other naturally forming finches in the wild, and they've just become a completely captivity based type of finch. It's very strange. It doesn't happen very often. Whoever first did it must have mated a lot of the same thing with a lot of the same different thing to get a lot of offspring. But there we are. So society or Bengalese finch. Apparently they can be quite tame as well. They are more human orientated, I think, than any other finches. And they like to exist in little flocks. I was only going to get 2, but I couldn't leave the third one on his own in the pet shop. I knew a little bit about Bengalese finches, and these 3 have been with each other apparently quite a long time. So I had to get them all together. Is the long and short of that. Just to make perfectly clear, that is not singing. That's just a call. I've got one of the suspected females out, and the other female and male, I think, in the cage. They are actually a beautiful brown, chocolate brown colour, but you can't really tell in this light. You'll notice the male's making almost no noise in this, I believe. He's making almost no noise, whereas these 2 are chattering to each other. Time to try and get this one back in the cage, I think.